Okay, so let's see what actually broke here. So looks like this black rod here snapped just above the thread a few minutes earlier. So we need a couple of 10mm. Unscrew that. The cable that goes to the quick shifter here feeds into this channel. There's a channel there, so just pull that one out from both ends until it's free. So now the rod is now completely disconnected. So again, unscrewing it, I have to twist it to the right. Alright, so that's the rod, one side of it, and then to remove this side, just pull that one off really. Again, there's a flat spot there and there. Alright, and then loosen it up, and the whole thing should come out. There you go. I'm gonna put the rubber bit back on just to hold it there. So yeah, that's what broke. It was like that. So as much as this is nice and thick for additional strength, the weak point is here. I don't know if it's a very bad design or it's a cheap material that is made out of. I've did a little bit of reading and I see that Triumph unfortunately don't sell this rod. For some reason they want you to buy the whole quick shifter when it's just this rod and he's replacing. As long as it's a rod, yeah, this length, M6 thread on both ends, 175mm in length. Both ends are M6, but one end is left hand thread and the other end is right hand thread. This is where it snaps, so screw this knot, you spin it to the right, so it's a right hand thread, but on this end, if you spin it to the right, it unscrews, so it's a left hand thread. When you buy a rod, make sure one end is right hand thread, one end is left hand thread. Doesn't matter which end, because you can spin it whichever way. Alright, I tried to find a replacement. I did find something that was potentially suitable from an online shop, and I bought the parts, and then within just a few hours they fully refunded me, saying they're away for 3 weeks and they can't supply me the part. So I end up back to square one to look for something that works, and I found this to my local hardware store. If you're Bunnings, that's where I ended up, in Bunnings, and this is what I found that I think I'll make it work. It's a marine grade stainless steel jaw and jaw bottle screw. So the good news is this is M6 thread, and it's one end is left hand and right hand thread, so should suit perfectly. That's what it comes with, and I've got that much thread on the second one that I bought. Alright, so this is pretty close. I'm gonna use some Loctite on the bolt when I screw it in. That's the amount of thread that's gonna be inside the tube on both sides, and then I've got 2 nuts to lock it in place, and I'm gonna cut it right at the end of the thread. One done, one to go. Wear safety glasses and make sure you use that shield if you do use a angle grinder. Don't want you to hurt yourself if you repeat what I'm doing here. Just a bit of filing so that it's not too sharp for my fingers when I work with it. Alright, that's pretty smooth there now. Oh yeah, I've got it both ready to go. I'm going to use Loctite on the thread of the part of the bolt that goes inside the barrel, and hopefully that's going to hold it into place nicely. So this is what I had in mind, from this to this. Alright, so what I did is I used the 10mm wrenches to lock the nuts to tie them against each other. Loctite, good shake. I've cleaned the thread really well with the cloth. Now they say if you want to dry up really quickly, you need to apply a primer called Loctite 7471. This is 243 what I'm using. Just gonna apply on the thread that goes inside. Also, it says the nozzle of the Loctite not to touch the thread with it, not to contaminate the contents of the bottle. So just been as careful as I could. Alright, so I put even more than needed. So I'm just gonna screw it into place. Same with the other side. Wipe the excess off. I'm gonna try and tighten it. Alright, I'm just gonna let it sit for 24 hours. I'm actually going to get some heat shrink tube and feed it over the top of this, past the nuts on this side, and maybe up to about there somewhere on the other side. A bit of shrinkage. And one more layer of this. Another nut here to lock when I mount it in place. And also on this side, and this is an actual lock nut. That's not bad. Roughly the same diameter now. Actually, I'm gonna add one more layer of heat shrink. Happy with that. Ready to lock it in. Let's mount it. So I know the shorter part goes there because I checked earlier. Alright, feed it through the hole. That's the left hand thread there and the right hand thread there. Spin it just enough for the thread to catch. Alright, so now align it with this and try to spin it at the same time. Yep, that caught it. So there we go. Alright, so that's all the way in here because that's the shorter thread, and lock it into place here. Yeah, that was nice and neat. And now the lock nut. The rod is going to move back and forth through the channel here. I don't want the cable to get pinched, and I will use some Velcro straps to hold it in place. Yeah, that seems to work fine. I don't see this breaking easily, seriously. Stainless steel. It should be stronger than what I had before, I reckon. I'm going to try and use this instead of Velcro. See if that works. That should give it plenty of protection. I just cut it short to the width of that of the frame. I need to remove this. I was lazy. Hang on. Alright, this should give me a bit more space to work with. So now it's moving with it nicely. Done, ready for a test ride. Yay! If it's too high or too low, I have an adjustment here. I've got an adjustment at the back of the quick shifter, so I think I've got a couple of adjustments so I don't have to undo these. It's gonna be noisy. Okay, first test passed. Now I'm gonna go for a ride. Well, I want to see whether it feels too high or too low, if I need to make any other adjustments. Don't mind, my bike is really filthy, but the rod really works. I took it for a ride, for quite a few rides now. It's been I installed it for about 2 days, 3 days, and yep, didn't miss a beat. The quick shifter works really well, changing gears, no problem. I didn't have to make any further adjustments. The length was just right. I'm gonna post the, you'll see here somewhere in the video, the cost of how much I paid to build that, and also an alternative if you don't want to build your own and want to buy one. I've found something that you might be able to use on the internet. But Triumph, if you see this video, come on, that's the cheapest part that you could find to build a quick shift. I feel like there should be two options there. One, make a good quality rod so it doesn't break easily. Not that hard. I only paid this much to make my own, so surely you can make it even cheaper if you build it your own. And two, make the rod available for us so we can buy it, replace it, and get the bike working again, and not have to charge us, I don't know, $600, how much, $800, whatever the cost is for a brand new quick shifter, for just a rod, a basic rod that I can find it in Bunnings to build it myself. Seriously, I know you can do better. Such a high quality parts you included with the bike, so why not put that in line with everything else? So anyways, thanks guys, and if this video helps you fix yours, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you want to. But I'm just gonna hold on to this bike for a while and do some maintenance on it as I do. You would have seen a bunch of videos I made, how to change spark plugs, radiator, coolant, oil, filters, stolen air filter. Anyways, cheers, see ya.